Hey, what's up guys? So today on Ask or Meet Some BS, we're going to do something a little different. There's going to be no intro, there's going to be nothing. I just kind of want to talk about the Fantastic Four, and I'm not talking about the new movie in general, which I'm going to do my review later on. This is more going to be like my old serious talk series, which is what Ask or Meet Some BS was kind of spawned from as a sequel to, where I would just kind of sit down and really pretty much pour my heart out into something I really enjoyed. I did this with Spider-Man, Marvel and DC and various things like that. So I figured I would kind of bring it back to talk a little bit about the Fantastic Four and why, to me, they're so special and why I really, hopefully by the end of this, you guys can see why I don't want to see the new movie, why I think it looks terrible. So this all stems to way back when I was a child. Watching the old Marvel cartoons, I remember there was a day when I was sick. Like, I was really sick. I was swimming too much, and, underwater pressure built up, and I was literally bleeding from my ear, and they were like, oh, God, you need to just lay down. Then I got, like, a fever. So I had to spend about 2 days laying on a couch and in my bed, and all I had was a TV, and at this time I had no idea what the hell Marvel or any of this was. All I ever seen was Spider-Man. It was the old reruns of like the 60s cartoon, I think. And flipping through, and I caught the Fantastic Four. And I didn't know that they were in the Marvel Universe, but the first image I ever saw of the Fantastic Four was Doctor Doom. And I remember just laying there going, whoa, this guy's so cool. He was shooting green stuff from his hands. And then the Fantastic Four came on to fight him. And during the, talk and stuff and the conversation, they kind of go and talk about how they're family. And, I really like this. And then, unfortunately, the war in Bosnia started, so I never really got to keep up with it up until I moved to America in February of 96, I want to say. Maybe it was 95. I could be wrong. I don't remember. Years, I don't have a concept of years that I really grasp on. I just don't care anymore. You'll be like that after you're 21, I promise. Once you get really obliterated and drunk, you're like, well, what's to look forward to now? Anyway, so I remember flipping through the channels, and it was the old Fantastic Four animated series. Now, I saw this before I ever saw Spider-Man, the animated series, before I ever saw, the X-Men animated series. I saw the Fantastic Four, and automatically I was like, oh my god, that's those characters from my childhood that I remember watching these cartoons. So I fell in love with it, and the more I fell in love with it, I realized the reason I love them so much is that they weren't the standard comic book heroes. They weren't Spider-Man trying to hide their identity, They weren't Batman who had this tragic story. They were a family. Now, they weren't all related, of course, or whatever. Hey, Cat, I'm trying to make a video. So, they weren't all related. Johnny was the hothead. He was kind of acting like a teenager, and I like that. And, Ben Grimm was their friend, and he was kind of always, the tough guy. And you could pretty much apply this archetype to a lot of your families, and a lot of people's, relations and stuff. So I really like that aspect of it, and it gave me something else. And I also loved that at the time. I didn't know that there was more cosmic Marvel stuff out there, because, I was younger, but they were the most cosmic thing I've ever seen. So I was never the biggest fan of, there's this entire galaxy and the Green Lanterns and stuff, but I liked it when the Fantastic Four would go from Earth and travel and come back, and, they would kind of, like, take us on this journey through space, and it was their first time discovering stuff. So that's when I ended up picking up a few of the, Fantastic Four comics and reading them, and I really fell in love with these characters even more. My personal favorite being Mr. Fantastic. I absolutely love that character. A lot of you don't know, I cosplayed him my first time going to New York Comic Con. He's pretty much one of the greatest characters, I would say, in comics. What character is there that's, so smart? Oh my god, it's blinding me. My window's open. It's like reflecting off the pavement. Now it's just going to get dark. Anyway, so, he's become this character that you can really notice, like, what he does out of the love for his family, but he might make some bad choices. This was further reflected and emphasized and really made holy shit in your face when we got to the Ultimates, where he's the ultimate bad guy. Hell, you look at Thanos, you're like, man, Thanos has some pretty good ideas. I mean, he's trying. Ultimate Reed Richards, gone. And I love that evolution of the character. But not even talk about the Ultimates, let's go back to 616, the main Marvel Universe. How many characters are there that, let's see, started off young, are allowed to age, are allowed to get married and keep their marriage, are allowed to have children, have their children grow up, live a family life, and continue having adventures. Spider-Man? Fuck no, they deleted that shit. Fantastic Four can. So growing up reading Fantastic Four when I was young, seeing him as a younger person, and then seeing him get older and older, and get married, and have children, and have adventures with his children, reminds me of me. Because I met a woman, I got married, had a child, now I have adventures with her, and now she's discovering the same stuff I love. There it is. But now I just want to take it back to Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom, how do I put this? You guys, most of you should know by now if you're a long time, comic book cast subscriber. I'm a huge Magneto fanatic. My love for Magneto is unmatched. I absolutely love everything about that character. It's like unhealthy obsession almost, So Doctor Doom would be number 2. And, there's a lot of reasons. Once again, he hails from the area where I'm from, Eastern Europe. And I love the whole story, Doctor Doom has a great story. He's a child of a bunch of gypsies, which I had friends who were that. His parents are killed. I had friends whose parents were killed during war. So, there's a lot of stuff that I kind of try to connect with the characters I love. Obviously, with Magneto, you guys could put the 2 there. With Punisher, you guys could put the 2 there. With Aquaman, you can kind of figure it out. Captain America, while I love him, you can figure out my love for coming to this country and discovering, what a great place the United States is. I fell in love with Captain America, naturally. Doctor Doom is another one of these characters. He's not Victor Domashev or Doom, some corporate guy. He's Victor Von Doom. He's a simple guy who wants to protect his land, his country. Why is that so hard? I want to do what he does. If I could go back to Bosnia, which is still trying to recover from war, and make it a better place, okay, I would try it. That's the only thing they tried to put in there, That's not that hard. Latveria is a great country that he's trying to defend, and it's his country. And he's trying to protect the people in it from getting, killed and murdered from other people, much like his mom was, because his mom was a gypsy. And if you guys know, in Eastern Europe, and pretty much around the world, gypsies aren't exactly looked upon in a good way. You guys can discover that out all if you want on Google and stuff like that. I don't want to get politics and, religion and all that shit in here and like people believe in. So, it's just, I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of love I have for these damn characters. Way more than I thought I did. And as we get closer to this new movie, it reminds me of all the stuff I, lived through. And I had characters like the Fantastic Four and, Doctor Doom and all these other great things. And when I pick up comics, how great these characters are. How I could just go pick up a Fantastic Four comic from a year ago and read it. And see Reed Richards sitting there with his daughter, reading a book with her. And I'm like, yeah, that's fucking awesome, he's a family man. I get it. I am too. And I can relate to them. They're fantastic. It's in their name. Fantastic. Why would you try to make a grounded version of the Fantastic Four? Hope you guys enjoyed it.